Good evening. It is live from the Puff Puff headquarters, aka the man layer couch of fishing stuff. I guess I could give you a little bit of a tour around here to show you all my fishing accoutrement, so to speak. It's your boy Captain Thy Mule. It is after work on a Thursday. So the title of this video will be Fly Fishing for Beginners. And what I mean by that is I'm not anything else but a beginner when it comes to fly fishing. Uncle Canada got me into it after about 2 years of nagging me to come out with him. So I bought myself an early birthday present or presents and went out and grabbed a ton of gear, fly fishing gear. So I'm going to go over all that with you this evening, as well as set up my rod and reel for the first time. Now that I was waiting on a couple odds and ends that I'll get into that showed up yesterday, and I'm not going to waste any time. Most of you that subscribe know, or if you don't know, we live in Cleveland, Ohio, which is literally on Lake Erie to the north. We have several rivers that run into Lake Erie with world-class steelhead fishing. And then as you go east into Pennsylvania, you got Lake Erie bordering most of that. And then a ton of native brook trout and brown trout and all that other stuff that are native to those streams, like I said, and creeks and rivers. And Uncle Canada could explain it a lot better than I. But bottom line is, in Ohio and PA, there is world-class native and stocked trout fishing. And now I'm finally going to foray into it. So I'm very excited, very happy to get out there. So let's start jumping into the gear. So big thing for me not wanting to get into fly fishing initially was I didn't want to go spend a ton of money on a ton of gear. And it's a brand new technique or techniques that I've never experienced, I'm not used to. I decided now was the time to get into it. If I really enjoy it, then great. If I don't like it, well, I could probably sell most of the gear and move on with my life. So I'll go over what I purchased right now, and then I will start setting up my fly reel and rod for the first time. So my rod that I bought is a Redington Path. It is a four-piece fly rod. It is 9 feet, and it is, I think it's a 7 weight is what they call it. It's a pretty nice rod. Came with this nice hard case, which I believe you can actually fit 2 rods in. Nice, very hard case. This was about 140 bucks.
Whoa!
I know some people might think that it's a little bit pricey for a beginning rod, but I decided that if I'm going to enjoy it, that I wanted to have a nice rod to start. So if I do, in fact, get out there and enjoy myself, then I will be able to already own a decent rod. Obviously, they get way more expensive than this, and obviously there are way cheaper rods than this. Most of my spinning rods are $150 anyway, if not more. So foraying into this is, I felt comfortable at that price range. So the Redington Path, again, it says right here, it is 9 feet in length and 7 weight, which is the weight of the line you'll be throwing, I believe. So I was told to get a bigger rod, a 9 or 10 foot for steelhead, which are bigger fish, and just overall to learn. And then a lot of people have recommended to me, once I get used to this, if I enjoy it, this is a good rod for bigger fish like steelhead. But if I was going to actually be trout fishing, a lot of trout, they do get big, but the average, I don't want to guess, maybe 10 to 15 inches, maybe a pound to 2 pounds. Anything over that would probably be considered a bigger trout, I'm guessing. They would say scale down to about a 7 foot. I'm not sure about the weight and all that, but so you're actually fighting a smaller fish on a smaller rod. And if you hook into a big fish, you're fighting a big fish on a smaller rod. But so this is the reel that I chose. It is the Orvis Clearwater Large Arbor. I do right-hand retrieve, so I did have to change the gearing in there. Very simple. I believe most fly reels, from what I saw online, come standard with left-hand retrieve, but it's all pretty much a one-stop shop, click button, comes right apart. You flip a little gear in there and change it to right-hand retrieve, which I do. So let me get it to stick back together. There we go. So again, the Orvis, this was $100, $99. So again, right in that range I was comfortable with. I'm not buying a piece of junk. It's a reputable brand, Orvis. You hear that, it's synonymous with fly fishing. And I'm not breaking the bank. So my fly rod and fly reel, about $250, $240. Like I said, my spinning setups cost at least that, you know, the $250 to $350 range. So like I said, if I do enjoy it, I know I have, from what I understand, Redington and Orvis are both very reputable names in the fly fishing industry. Again, they get way more expensive. I have $250 spinning reels and I have a $300 spinning rod. I also have the first ever bait caster I bought was the Black Max or the Silver Max, and for the bait caster rod 7-foot combo it was like $60 and it's garbage. I'd rather put it in a shredder than ever take it out fishing. So there's that reel. Next we have backing line, which is what you put on your reel, and fly line is what you will tie to that. So the backing line is in case you ever hook into something that takes all your fly line. It'll come up to your backing line, and that's when you're fighting something big that's taking all your line, from what I understand. So both are very important. This brand is Sunshine Fishing. It's 108 yards of backing line. It's 20-pound line, which I figure is about a decent weight for the fish around here. Not bigger than that by any means, but you know, strong enough. I went with a bright color. They do make it in like 15 different colors. I wanted to get like a muted blue. This is all that was available on fast shipping. Impatience, I guess, but whatever. And then my actual fly line is it's Trout Line, all around trout. It is Frequency Scientific Anglers, and it is it says it's 85 feet worth, and this is 8 weight. So if you heard me say before, my rod was a 7 weight. This is an 8 weight. Set of line. I was told and did a lot of research, and they say especially for beginners to go one more weight up than what your rod is. It makes it a little easier to learn to cast. I lied. I took a few casts with Uncle Canada's rod, but I've never casted a fly rod or reel or line or anything. This is all brand new to me. Again, fly fishing for beginners. You're watching me do my first foray too. So I got my leaders here, which I believe is what I'll be putting my tippet onto. I have my tippet rings here. This is Rio Products PowerFlex Trout leaders. And then I have my tippet rings here and my tippet. So I believe this is what I'll be tying the actual flies to. I've heard different things. I'm going to look up different techniques before I'm going to get to the point of my leader on. And then as far as the tippet and all that other stuff, I'm going to do some research as to the best possible way to go about it. I actually don't have any flies yet either. I'm supposed to go out with Uncle Canada. He's going to let me borrow some of his flies the first times we go out, and then I'm going to make my educated decision on what flies would be best for the type of fishing we're doing, and then I'll stock up on them from there. So as you can see, that's already a lot of stuff, but that's basically the idea behind, aside from the flies, which I have not bought yet, the actual baits. But I got the rod, the reel, the backing line, the leaders, the tippet rings, and the tippet. So now I'm going to set up my reel. I've got my backing line on. I've got this specialty knot tied to get the backing line to the fly line. So let me go ahead and cut these ends. I would definitely recommend going to watch somebody explain how to tie these. I think it was called an arbor knot and a nail knot. The arbor knot is to tie your backing line to your reel, which you could probably get away with just tying however you would tie your spinning line to your spinning reel. Pretty simple stuff, but this right here, so if you catch into something big and your fly line is all taken out by, let's say, a huge steelhead, you're coming to your backing line. So this knot right here is highly, 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 highly important. I might be a noob to fly fishing, but I know that's been stressed. So I mean, this knot's not going anywhere. I'm about to cut my fingers. And now I'm going to spool on my fly line. There you have, and there I have my first ever fly line, fly reel, Orvis, MacGyver setup. So Pimp Dynasty. All right, I'm kind of excited. For whatever reason, I don't care what anybody says, this whole setup right here, super intimidating. super easy. I'm telling you, you just watched me open all the stuff from the boxes, and I know I sound like a noob, but I wanted to make a video, not me being, Tony Hawk, telling you how Tony Hawk's tips and tricks. I wanted to make a video. I'm not Tony Hawk telling you how to do a kickflip. I wanted to actually do the kickflip as a first timer. So, like I said, your reel, and then your backing line, and then your trout line, and you just watched me do it. Simple as backing line, knot it to your reel, simple knot, or you could do that arbor knot, and then your backing line to your trout line. There's that nail knot, I believe it's called, super important. You need those lines to not come apart, because if a big fish takes you to that point, then you're in trouble, and the idea is to go catch big fish to get you to that point. So I'm not saying I'm going to tomorrow or you will tomorrow, but it's a good problem to have. But it's also a bad problem if you have that good problem and then your knot doesn't hold up. So, and I will say the backing line was very cheap. This fly line was like $55, and I know it gets more expensive, so it could be a 50. Some of that was like 70, 80 bucks. It could be a pricey mistake. And then at the end of the fly line, there is a loop. So one thing that's very important that I guess I should point out, that was pointed out to me, is I don't know where the sticker went. Okay, here it is. So when you open up your fly line, the first thing you'll want to do is there's different little things that secure it through these holes to keep the line down, and you want to look for the end. Well, the end now is attached to my backing line. That's the end, and they'll have a little sticker on it. I know you can't really see it, but it says this end to reel. So the loop end is what you want to tie your leader onto. So the loop end is what should be done in your hand once your reel is strung up. This end to reel did not have a loop on it. I know some of them do, some of them don't, but you want to look for that end to connect to your backing line. So very important, because some will have a loop on one end, some will have a loop on both, but you need your loop to be at the end where you're going to put your leader on, because it's a loop-to-loop connection. So I did not put all my backing line on. This is 108 yards. I probably put 60 to 75. There's about a third, a little less than a third left. But I was told, obviously filling out the reel, and I filled it out pretty damn well without going over. I was worried about putting my fly line on, and if I used all of that and it overflowed, then I put on too much backing, having to restart the process. Just not where I want to be right now. So I've shown you pretty much the entire rod and reel setup. Like I said, I talked to Uncle Canada, got my loop on my fly line, and he said, we're actually going to go out tomorrow. He said, get to the point of putting your leader on, and then he's going to show me what he does to get started. He's going to show me a lot of tips and tricks and all that good stuff tomorrow. So again, I got everything I need to get out there and actually tie on a fly. I don't have any flies. Now I want to show you the rest of the gear that I purchased at his recommendation. So once I'm out there, I have everything that I need. So this I'm kind of excited about. It's just cool. I don't know why, just something simple, but it's almost like a Pelican case. The brand on it is CSF Fishing, and it's just this is silicone, and it holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times 7. So it holds like 150 flies on either side. So that is cool. Like I said, I do not have any flies yet, but I'll be getting some smallmouth flies and steelhead flies and trout, various accoutrements, all that good stuff. So I do have a nice fly case. Also kind of cool because spinning tackle, you have Plano boxes on Plano boxes. Even if I had 4 or 5 of these full of flies in my sling bag, which I already have, it's kind of cool that it's lightweight. So that's neat. I'm excited about that. Next thing I got is a net. And I'm not too happy with this. It was cheap. It was like $11. I know a lot of guys use wood rims or smaller. It's collapsible though. It comes out and it's telescopic, So keep it on the back of my sling bag and go ahead and, it's nice that it collapses so easy. It just, I don't know, I guess if it catches the fish and brings them to me and all that, and I like that it's got the long handle for when I'm going to be, doing all that, I guess, because I'm a righty, then I guess it'll still be fine. This is something I might want to upgrade immediately if I really get into this. It just feels kind of crappy, and I don't think it's going to hold up. But for, this season and upcoming months, you can't go wrong with a net, especially one that was only $11. So I already have a sling bag that I use for when I go to ponds and go hike into places to fish with my spinning gear. That's up in the garage, so I will show you that, I guess, at some point too. But I got this nice magnetic separator for the net. So I put this on the back of my bag, this carabiner, and then there's a magnet. And then I connected this, almost like a telephone, old school cord, to the net. So the net's hanging off my sling bag when I'm standing, nipple deep in the water. And, it's not attached, so I can't show you fully, but, I can pull it, and I have the net in my hand. And then when I'm done, just connect it back to my satchel. Then I have my waders. I guess I'll put these on for you and show you the business. Alright, so here's the wader game. They're nice and they fit well, but they're not too big, or they're not too small. You want them a little big, because when you're bending over like this in the river and all that, you need to be able to get some moving going. So they have the reinforced knees. The brand are Frog Tugs. Those were like the everyman's waders that I saw online, reviews and all that. Did some research. These were about $110, I want to say, or maybe 99. They're about $100, call it. Some people don't like the suspenders. I know Uncle Canada uses they just come up above his belly button or as high as he wants, but I wanted the chest pouch. It's got 2 sets of pockets, one that goes this way and then one that goes down, which is nice for like the phone and your hemostats, forceps, whatever you use. So those are cool with the little, obviously the booties. So like I said, the whole, actually almost down to my ankle is reinforced, which is nice. So one thing I did here too was I personally assumed, aside from the fly rod and reel, which I know generally speaking the rods and reels that I buy tend to be more pricey, but I assumed based out of all the gear that I would have to buy that these would be the most expensive. I guess I was correct in assuming they do get very expensive. You can go buy an $800 pair of waders, and I guess they come with warranties and stuff too. But I also read and heard in all the videos and people I know, no matter how expensive or well you take care of your waders, eventually they are going to leak. If these cost $100 and I can get 2 seasons out of them versus buying one pair that's going to last, the same amount of time for $300, we'll see how they hold up. I guess somewhat last but not least, got my hiking boots or my fly fishing boots. They are nice. They're pretty light considering how heavy duty they look. And then I did buy cleats and put them in there. So you can see on both sets of boots. And boots again are preference. I spent about $80 to $90 on these. I didn't want to spend $200 to get started. These had really good reviews on Amazon, so if they hold up, great. And if I can get a year or 2 out of them and then upgrade, great. But I did buy cleats for them. They are cleated boots. I also saw a lot of boots that have felt soles. Obviously, when you're walking in a river with rock bottom or clay bottom, or there's algae and other slippery things, or on steep embankments and stuff, you're going to want as much grip as possible. There was cleated bottoms to choose from, and then there were other boots that had felt bottoms, and I've read that those are very good too. But even before I wanted to get into fly fishing myself, I've seen and heard a lot of streams, especially in protected lands out west, etc., actually ban felted soles. The felt eventually rubs off and gets in the streams, and someone else could explain it better than I, but I have definitely heard that. And I know for a fact most of the stuff we're going to be fishing over here is a lot more steep and rocky. That's kind of that. So I know this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I hope you learned something from me as a beginner. Like I said, tomorrow will be my first day ever fly fishing. I'm sure I'll capture a video about that. It'll be separate from this, but that's all the gear that I have, and I'm ready to go fishing tomorrow with Uncle Canada. Like I said, he's going to show me how to tie my fly on, and hopefully get an idea of what flies that I'm going to be purchasing. But as far as if you're going to commit to fly fishing and you want your own gear to get started, hopefully you can follow what I did or do something very similar, and if not, at least get a general idea of the gear that you're going to need. One last thing I did not get yet was a chest pack, and it's basically like a fanny pack, but they wear them high. It's got pockets and little, even like a tray in there to keep flies, and the guys would keep flies on their hats, or in their little bags. I have not gotten one of those yet. Like I said, my pond bag that I take when I go fishing and go hiking somewhere is a sling, so I can easily whip it around to the front, whip it back. I already have nippers and line cutters, and then I'll put the net on there too, so that bag should be suitable enough for now, at least on these first few missions. That's the only thing that was recommended to me to buy was a chest pack, but I'm just not there yet. So I'm assuming this video is going to get hopefully some love, and I'm assuming it might get some flack or some hate. If you choose to go the constructive criticism route, let's do that. Be constructive and while criticizing, give me tips. Tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I should have bought or what I should do better, or if I explained something wrong. Help me learn too, because that's what I'm doing now. You've seen that we fish and years and years and blah blah blah, go watch all the videos, but this is all new to me. So if you want to be cool, sweet. If you're going to be a douche, then you're just a douche. So I appreciate the support and the subscribers as always, and hopefully we will be on some fish. So this will be the first fly video, not the last. And Puff Daddies unite. Real Lucky Apparel. Thank you.